Okay, this is how to change the steering wheel on a Range Rover Sport. We'll take you through it. It's for guidance only. Obviously you're working with airbags and stuff, so really it should be done at the main dealers, but this is guidance to show you what we've got to do. So this is the bare steering wheel. Now problems you get often with the steering wheels is the leather really tends to deteriorate. You can tell if you've got a leather steering wheel because it's got stitches. Some of the Discoveries had the same steering wheel, but it's just molded. You can't see the stitch line on the inside. So some people upgrade to the leather if they've got that. Okay, so the first thing to do is start with your steering wheel nominally straight. Then what we've got to go and do is go around to the front and disconnect the battery because of the airbag. So if we go round, open the bonnet. Okay, so the battery's in this little compartment here. There's two little switches we pull out there, and then you need a 13mm spanner. Okay, and what we've got to do here is disconnect this one here. So disconnect that, and this whole assembly lifts up. Obviously you don't want that touching back onto the assembly, so if you just pull it back and hold the cover there, that keeps that off. Right, next back inside the car. Okay, and we need, right, okay, this is the hook tool that we supply. So basically you've got a pull to pull, and you've got a little hook. Now we've marked on here how deep it should go into the housing. So let's go and do that now. So if you look underneath on this airbag here, I'll point to it on the rear casing of the steering wheel, you can see the little hexagonal hole. Now you've got to insert the hook with the end of the hook facing towards you into the back here. Okay, and what there is if you get it right, okay, so we've gone into the plastic just meets the housing there. What we can do there is we can push on the airbag slightly, and then that will release the spring. You can feel it pulling, and you see the airbags come away at the front here. Now it won't come away far until you've done the other side. So we'll just do the same thing on the other side of the steering wheel. So pointing towards us into the red thing, we feel the pressure. Okay, pull that off. Okay, let me just get my tool out of there. Okay, so now we've got the clips released, we can pull the airbag forward, and then we can just spin it round so we can see the connections. So we've got these three connections here. Okay, so this one's marked connection 1 and it's got the red wire in it, and this one's marked connection 2 and that's got the black wire. Then we've got the double black wires. On this one there's a small little release peg there. You've got to just push that in there to release that one. Okay, now on these other two, again be very careful here because it is an airbag. You just pull those two together, pull that one off, okay, and then put these two together, okay, and pull that one off. Okay, so that's those disconnected there. Okay, so put the airbag somewhere well out of the way, nice and okay. Then we need to undo the centre nut, which is, we've got a 16mm socket here. Okay, now some of them are tight. Now we've loosened this one already, so you might need to get a friend to hold it for you. Okay, and then you remove that central bolt, spin that out. Okay, it comes with the washer. So there we go, so we've got the central bolt out. Okay, put that to one side. Okay, now the steering wheel assembly. Now what you've got to make sure is that the steering wheel, now you might not be able to see in the light here, but what we've got in there is there's two pins. You can see there's an alignment on the steering wheel and also an alignment on the central shaft, so note that, but put it nominally straight. But when you put them back in, make sure you line the mark on the steering wheel up with the mark on the shaft. Okay, then what we need to do actually before we just pull it off is just release this white connector. So there's a little tab on the top, we just push that down, pull that white connector out, and then what we can do is carefully pull the steering wheel, guide the two airbag connector wires out, and then we've got this. Now what we need to do now is, obviously this is different to the bare core that I've got here, and what we need to do is remove the rear housing and the switch packs, so you keep those the same as the car. And to do that, there's 4 screws on the back here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then what you can do is the switch packs pull forwards. Okay, you can swap those over, and then you can push the rear casing, because the rear casing depends what controls you've got, because it's got cutouts here. But as long as you swap everything over from the original that you've got on the car and then swap the cores over, that's the job done. Okay, so here we go. So what we've done, we've loosened the 4 screws on the back here, 1, 2, 3, 4. What that enables you to do then is if you pull these forwards, okay, you can take out these switch packs, and then if you just put those over the top and push, you can then remove the steering wheel and then put the new steering wheel in and build it back up, starting from that.